Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome back to the Power Series, where we are talking about the 9 dimensions of power. Today will be a very short segment, but we'll be dealing with the power of giving. Now, typically, when we think about the power of giving, we don't see this as a social power. We typically see this as something that may essentially be a sign of weakness. But today, once I give you some really great facts, I hope that you'll change your mind about why giving is a form of power. So first, I want to start off with some health benefits of giving. And this is actually coming from an article by Kitty Stratford. And according to this article, she talks about how giving actually helps to secrete some of the feel-good chemicals in our brain. And there are three chemicals. The first one is serotonin. This is a chemical that actually regulates your mind. So there's science that actually supports when we give, there is serotonin that's released. That means our mind is more at ease. It's more at peace when we give. The second chemical is dopamine. This is actually a chemical that's associated with giving you a sense of pleasure. So ever did something that made you feel good, whether it's eat ice cream or do something pleasurable, that is a chemical dopamine that is released from your brain. When you give, that actually stimulates your dopamine chemicals being released. So we're getting a little science lesson here. The third chemical is oxytocin. This actually helps to create a sense of connection with others. So when you're giving and when you're giving back, that chemical oxytocin is also released. So what does this even mean? All these fancy words. In simple and in short, that means when we give back and we find ways to give in our lives, we're actually increasing and boosting our health. We're increasing our well-being and our mental health. For those of you that might deal with depression or might deal with some form of sadness, especially during the holidays, a way to circumvent that is to actually find a way to give. And it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. There are many different ways that you can give back. So it may be through volunteering, maybe it's giving back to your local church. So if you're a part of a ministry, maybe connecting to the children's ministry or to the outreach ministry, that's a great way to plug in and to find a way to give. Or maybe it's giving back to a soup kitchen or a food pantry, or giving through gifts. There are many ways to do it. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. And this is really important because I truly believe once we understand the power of giving, it will transcend and transform our lives. I always thought about giving as in my experience as my weakness because I'm a person that loves to give. I'm a huge giver. From a very young age, my mom would tell me stories of how I gave my allowance away or I was always covering people and giving just gifts to people. I would save up all my money and just want to give. That was always a part of who I was. And so I always found that that was a weakness. But little did I know later on in life that that actually was a way to not just gain some type of impact in life, but also influence. So for those of you that are looking to elevate your career or elevate yourself,